And what I mean by that is for DEI hires, diversity, equity, and inclusion hires, those of us who are hired through affirmative action type programs, and of which I am one, and I proudly raise my hand to that. I ain't got no shame, because what I know is that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs were required as a hack to get around white folks' persistent racism. And this is not controversial. White Americans as a group, so many of them, not to say every single one of them to a person, but so many of them had been willful participants in maintaining the segregated nature of American race relations, that even when you had amazingly qualified Black candidates for positions, for jobs, for whatever it may be, that was traditionally gate kept by white people would not even, as a group, not as all the individuals, as a group, don't call me with the, oh, not all white people, Blake, but as a group, they would essentially refuse to allow even for Black qualified candidates to even be considered, to even have an interview. And so affirmative action, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, these were programs that were created because other white people realized, hey, we know our brethren and our sistren. We know the nature of racism, and we know that if we don't require there to be some consideration for non-white people to get access to these positions, which have traditionally only been held by white people, not because white people deserve them, but because white people coalesced and agreed to only give them to each other. They knew that if they did not do something to disrupt that, well, then white people were always going to keep the opportunities for themselves, regardless of the fact that other non-white people were more than qualified.